Everybody, my name's Christina and welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel is going to be very important to me as I'm going to kind of use it as a way for me to document my journey through self-improvement and self-love and overcoming mental health issues and things like that. And I want it to be a place where I can talk to you guys about my experience and you guys can share your experiences and where we can have important conversations about things going on in our world today. And, basically just a safe space to talk about those kinds of things. A good idea for my first video would be to do sort of a get to know me kind of thing, so you guys can learn a little bit about me, and then maybe you guys could answer some of the questions yourself in the comments and I could get to learn a little bit about you guys as well. The first question is, where did you grow up? I grew up in Miami, Florida. And the second question is, where do you currently live? Currently, I live in Orlando. The next question is, what is your sexuality? I identify as a lesbian. Funniest moment throughout high school. Okay, so this is pretty funny. It wasn't at the time, but looking back on it, it's so funny. So, I used to be really big into theater when I was in high school. And our drama room had like the black box theater, and then on the side, there were 3 rooms. We had the prop room, the sound and light room, and then the costume room. So me and my friends, we were taking a nap after we were done with our rehearsals, or we were on break or something, and we were in the prop room, and we were sitting on the couch that we had used in one of our shows, and I was sitting like upside down on the couch with my legs over the back, and then my friend Stephanie was sitting all the way on the other side, and then our friend John was like laying across us, and I felt something just like grab my ankle. Like it literally felt like somebody was holding my ankle. And I was like, John, like, don't do that. You scared me. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, didn't you just grab my ankle? And he was like, dude, I didn't touch your ankle. Look. And he like pats his hands. And sure enough, one of his hands was on my shoulder and the other was on my knee. And I was like, what? And then Stephanie was way too far away from me to be able to reach my ankle. So then we all kind of looked at each other and we freaked out and we like jumped and we ran out of the room screaming like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I swear, like that day, like a ghost literally grabbed my ankle in my theater class. And it was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Okay, are you in or have you gone to college? I'm currently in college here in Orlando. Who are your favorite YouTubers? My favorite YouTubers are Drea and Ronnie. They are the cutest couple ever, the cutest couple I've ever seen. They are wonderful people, and they are so inspiring, and they create such a great like atmosphere, and like they foster such positivity and support, and the way that they interact with their followers is just so sweet and so like heartwarming, and like I will shamelessly promote them all day, every day. So I'll probably put the links to their channels down below in my description because they are incredible. And honestly, they are the reason that I decided to finally go forth and make this channel, because I'd been wanting to do it for a really long time and I just never had the confidence to do it. I was like afraid people weren't going to watch, or afraid that I wasn't pretty enough and that nobody would pay attention to it. But I was like, you know what? Screw what other people think. If I want to do this, I'm gonna do this. Just do it. I'm just gonna do it. So watching them and the confidence boost that they gave me and the positivity that they have fostered in their following has just absolutely inspired me. And I feel like everybody should watch them because they're just so moving and so inspiring. Do you speak any languages and how well? Well, I speak English, obviously. Do I speak English well? That depends on the day. Because sometimes, honestly, like, words just completely, like, leave my mind and I can't speak. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to use words. I do speak a little bit of Spanish from growing up in Miami and also taking Spanish for a good portion of my life in school. But I read and like listen and understand better than I can speak it. speaking it is kind of a struggle for me. And I feel like that has to do with the fact that I'm like self conscious that people who speak Spanish or like native Spanish speakers will not understand what I'm saying, or they'll judge me for the way that I speak Spanish. And that's kind of scary. But I was actually really proud of myself because the other day I had a Lyft driver who only spoke Spanish, and I was able to communicate with him by by speaking to him in Spanish. A lot of the time, people will just let the person who doesn't really speak English try and like do what they can to speak English. Um, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put in the effort instead of making him be the one to put in the effort, because I felt like that is kind of selfish. Like, why is it fair to sit there and allow him to struggle to speak in a language that he isn't proficient in when I can do the same and make his burden a little bit lighter? So I was like, I'm going to do it, and I just did it. And it was a little bit broken, but he was very encouraging and he understood what I was saying, and he was very appreciative that um I didn't just sit there and let him struggle to speak to me in English. I feel like small things like that are things that can make other people's day. Are you single or taken? I am single. I have been single for a couple of months now. Um, and I'm still working through all the things that come with that breakup. But I am happy to be single currently and work on myself and work on improving myself and bettering myself for me, um, and not relying on somebody else through that process. I need to be strong on my own before I can be strong with somebody. And I feel like that's really important, and that's what I'm working on at the moment. How many siblings do you have? I have three siblings. I have an older brother, a younger sister, and then a younger brother. Do you have any bad habits? Um, One bad habit that I have is never putting away my laundry right away. Um, I tend to wash clothes and then live out of the basket of clean clothes instead of folding them and putting them away. I've recently started to get out of that habit, but it's a work in progress. That's for sure. What theme parks have you been to, and which is your favorite? I have been to all of the basic, like Orlando theme parks, because I grew up in Florida. I've been to all of Disney parks, SeaWorld and Aquatica, Busch Gardens, um, Islands, and Universal Studios. My favorite has to be Islands and Universal because of Harry Potter. I am a when I say huge, I mean like absolutely huge Harry Potter geek. Like, I have read the books multiple times. I watch the movies all the time. I used to write Harry Potter fan fiction. Like, I legitimately was obsessed and still am obsessed. I love Harry Potter. What is your favorite genre of film and why? Um, my favorite genre of film probably has to be psychological thrillers, kind of like they're kind of like horror movies, but they're not as gory and they're not as gross. Like, it's more of like um, if you've ever seen Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio, you would know what I'm talking about. Or like if you've seen The Secret Window with Johnny Depp, like those kind of movies, the ones that kind of like really make your head spin the whole time, and then at the end you're just like, you know, those kinds of things. What was your dream job as a kid? As a kid, I took dance classes, and I really wanted to be a dancer. That lasted probably until like middle school. And then middle school, I was like, I'm going to be an author. That's when I started writing all my fan fictions. And I was like, one day I'm going to write my own thing, and it's going to be so great. And everybody's going to want to write fan fictions about my story. Still, that would be really nice. I have all these creative ideas, and like I would love to write a book one day. but it's not like my ultimate goal anymore like it used to be. What are your pet peeves? I hate when people chew with their mouth open. It's gross. Do you have any weird quirks? I have a lot of weird quirks. You guys will come to find out if you continue to watch my channel. I have a lot, a lot, a lot of weird quirks. Do you know your personality type? What is it? I'm assuming this means like Myers-Briggs personality type. I am an INFJ. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but if you don't, you should definitely look it up, take the test. It's really cool. Have you been to any concerts or festivals? Which were the most memorable? I've been lucky enough to have been to a lot of concerts. I went to, my first concert was actually a Hannah Montana concert when I was a kid, so I don't really count that. I've been to see Hayley Kiyoko. That was incredible. I love her. She is, wow. I've been to, I saw the Front Bottoms, which was incredible. I love them. That was probably one of the most memorable. That one and Hayley Kiyoko. Those are my two most memorable concerts. What are your favorite values in friends? My favorite values in friendships are definitely like somebody who's going to be there for you, somebody who's going to support you in your decisions. No judgment. That's important. You don't want to have a friend who's always like judging you and on your back about things, and you want a friend who's going to accept you for who you are. Like, so what is the biggest struggle you've overcame? I think the biggest struggle that I've overcame has to be coming to terms with my own sexuality, because when I was a kid, my family was very religious, super religious. What are you the happiest with in your life? Right now, I have to say that I'm the happiest with my dedication to this new journey that I've decided to put myself on. I really want to improve myself for me as a person, and I am happy that I have come to the point where I can do that without constantly being worried about what everybody else has to say and what everybody else thinks. I am happy that I'm at this place where I can focus on myself and not feel guilty about that. And that's what I plan to do. This seems like a good place to end this and say that I hope that you guys stick with me through this journey. And if any of you guys want to follow my Instagram, I'll put the link in my description. Yeah. Have a good one, guys.